MANOLOGY Podcast, episode 05. I don't have Instagram. My name's Dan.
Mad Matt. Did you delete your Instagram?
Yeah.
Why? Instagram?
Yeah, no, just tired of it.
I've got Instagram.
I only ever look at, like, woodworking and twerk videos, so there's just no point. I mean, it's just a waste of my time. Joining us tonight on episode 5 is Tony G, at Tony G777.
Yeah.
777
On Instagram. And Old Man Muscle.
You got a second Instagram?
I do.
Okay, very
and
cool.
I got TikTok.
Professional stuff. You got Old Man Muscle on TikTok?
I have a Real Life with Tony and Jen.
Okay, very cool.
And, yeah.
We tried to make this episode a month ago, but then what happened was what happened was no shit, there we were. Somebody from my family got COVID, and they had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and they came to here and quarantined here in the studio. So we couldn't use the studio for 2 weeks. Then Matt got COVID. Yeah, so then we had to wait another 2 weeks. So it's been a month, but everybody tested negative, and this place has had plenty of time to air out. So,
you guys are late with the COVID.
That's where we are. Yeah, he's super late with it.
I had it 4 months ago.
I had it
Overachiever.
I had it in 2020. Yeah, I got it. I got it very early when it first came out.
COVID.
You look at the cards at Costco?
I'm like a COVID hipster. I'm like, I liked it. I had it way before it was cool.
Yeah, I had it from the get-go.
Yeah, I had it in 2019 actually. Yeah.
When I was a kid.
I had it way before all of you were. I had it before you were born. Like,
You had it in the womb.
mm-hmm.
COVID, literally a COVID baby?
Yeah, I'm patient
right.
0, bitch.
He made
Are we
it.
allowed to make fun of COVID?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think Facebook will block you, but that's about it.
You're allowed to make fun of whatever you want to on this podcast.
Just no misinformation.
We try to avoid misinformation, yes.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
We're not Alex Jones over here, but most of the stuff that he has said actually came true.
Yeah.
Like, that's the craziest thing. I mean, he's batshit insane.
Yeah.
We can all agree that he's an insane person, but he is right about a lot of things that he says.
80%, yeah.
Listen, a lot of people throughout history who they thought were insane ended up being right. So,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like Isaac Newton. Everybody thought he was batshit crazy. Ended up being right about gravity, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he also thought that he could turn lead into gold and killed himself doing that. So he's also kind of
I think you gotta
retarded.
be a little bit crazy. A little bit.
Yeah,
I think it helps.
he believed in alchemy, right? That was like his whole big study. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's a little retarded, but so like half retarded. Is that a thing? Can you be half?
I don't know.
You just don't go full retard.
You don't go. Yeah, right. You never go full retard. That's what happens. That's a very bad.
Hey.
It's a very bad thing.
I got yelled at one time for using the R word on Facebook, so I'm not doing it anymore. But it was legit. Her child was. So
Did you call her child retarded?
I did not.
Oh, well then she should just shut the fuck up.
I mean, she was a friend. So
Me and Matt both work at this do volunteer work for Special Olympics and all that kind of stuff.
not anymore.
No. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now
No,
after
we
this
still do.
podcast.
I'll be working with Special Olympics this year. Yeah, so
Nice.
Until they call you in the office and say, "Is this your podcast?"
Yeah, is this you? Did you say retarded on like 174 times? I'll be like, yeah, like I did, but here, this context is important, right? Because we need to talk about nomenclature and the way the English language works. And I will have this debate with you. I'll die on this hill. Like, there's no such thing as special words. Only special people.
That's right.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure,
And
absolutely.
then we can get into the whole topic. But so I was driving home from work, and there was a lady in front of me, and she had a sticker. I guess it was her initials on the back of her car.
Big monogram.
It was like a monogram, but it wasn't that big. But the issue I had with it was it wasn't centered.
Okay.
So I took a picture of it.
Yeah.
I was driving down 26. I actually took a screenshot of the video. And I posted it on my page, on my Facebook page. And I said, "What's wrong with this picture?" And most people figured it out. They said it's not centered. So I was like, well, I'm not the only one that this bothers from a little OCD.
Sure.
Well, I had a lady inbox me and said, "Hey, that vehicle belongs to a friend of mine." And I said, "Okay." And she's really upset that you put the back of her sticker on your Facebook page and basically everyone was making fun of it.
Did you have her? Was her license plate included in the photo?
No.
Well, I was really upset that the shit was off center. I was so upset that I took a photo.
So yeah, I mean, you know, to me, I was like, I wasn't trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but I mean, she was like, no, she's really, really upset about this, and I'm like, first of all, I'm like, holy crap, this is a picture. Someone's seen it that it was her friends, told her friend, then her friend seen it, and then her friend. So I said, well, have your friend message me. Her friend messaged me. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Her friend messaged me and told me that she lost sleep over it because she felt like everyone was making fun of her. And in my head, I'm saying, first of all, it's on the back of your car and you're driving around and everyone sees it every day, so I'm not sure. But, well, it was because all of the people on your Facebook have seen it now. And, you know, so basically she was freaked out about it. And you know, she couldn't sleep. She was losing sleep. And I had a choice to make. I know the choice you probably would have made.
What you mean? You mean if it was me that she was talking to, or if it was me that had the off-center sticker?
If it was you she was talking to.
I would tell her to go fuck herself.
That's a you problem.
Right. That's exactly what I would have said. I would have said, well, you know, all this sounds like it's your business. Right. This is not my problem.
And I agree with you 100%.
If it was me with the off-center sticker, I'd have just took a razor blade and just scraped it off, and then went about sleeping at night. You know.
It wasn't that important to me, so I would say that.
So you're a much nicer person. You're a much more friendly. I see a lot of people tell you that you're kind of a twat or whatever, like on your Facebook. People are constantly like dogging him about you post. Like you're a shit stirrer, right? Like what people think about you a lot. They say that
I belittle people.
That's what they say. They say you belittle people,
and all I do is talk down.
All I really ever see you do is ask questions,
and they're very generic questions.
Yeah, they're super generic.
It's not like an attack on any specific people. It's just like, what's your opinion on this?
Well, I've learned to ask very general questions because number one,
super professional. I left my ringer on.
And number two,
why would you ever do that?
I know.
You know, my real man questions. I don't.
So we haven't even really done the intro for Tony. So Tony, NPC bodybuilder. He first got on stage at what age? What was it?
Shit.
50.
It was 2013.
So how were you in 2013?
48, I think.
48. And
maybe longer. I don't know.
yeah. So he does NPC bodybuilding shows. Have you done any OCB shows?
No, I did Supernatural.
Supernatural, right?
I was Supernatural.
But you got disqualified.
I did.
Supernatural because you're not supernatural according to their standards of what is supernatural. Because you're not. What's funny is that you're at normal levels. Because Tony's a huge advocate for testosterone replacement therapy.
Absolutely.
He's been on testosterone replacement therapy for over 10 years.
11 years now.
11 years now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Tony is at normal levels, and so he is technically supernatural. Because he wasn't in the super physiological range for testosterone, right? That would be
175 pounds.
Yeah, you were.
That's what I competed at.
That's what I weigh. I weigh like 170.
When I call the promoter, I'm
tiny.
Yeah. Well. I mean,
yeah, but hey, he told me I could keep my trophies, and I was like, you weren't getting the back.
Was it John?
Yeah.
Yeah. John's a good guy.
John's a great guy, and I called him, and he was very nice about it. I said, John, I told you. I was taking testosterone. What do you? Yeah, but you know your levels are really high. I'm like, okay, I did my shot on Friday. The show's on Saturday. They're going to be elevated.
Sure.
You know, but anyway, my trophies are still in my man cave.
There you go.
And I've earned every bit of it.
I have 0 bodybuilding trophies. Matt has powerlifting trophies and state records, and
yeah, I got a few of those, but no bodybuilding, obviously.
But my trophies are. I can't talk about the trophies that I have because.
Did you bring some home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those trophies.
Yeah, I can't talk about that. It's like hunting trophies, you know? You bring home a deer antler or a deer teeth.
Sure.
People pull teeth out of deer that they shoot, right? That's a normal thing. No.
Do deer have teeth?
Do deer have teeth? I'm pretty sure they do.
They got teeth.
They probably have like horse teeth, like flat teeth.
I don't think
to gnaw.
I mean, antlers, sure.
I don't think they have canines.
Yeah, I have different trophies. I don't do. I'm not trying to be the best at exercising.
He's got some femurs in his closet.
Yeah, I got some toenails. Toenails were a big one for me. I learned that from a mutual friend of me and Tony's named
Do you
Can we say his name?
We can say Todd.
Can we say Todd Kohlhepp? Todd. Me and Tony are both friends with a notorious serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, both spit.
nice.
Yeah.
Let's save that for another podcast.
Should we? I feel like it's a good topic.
Let's go for it.
You want to go for it?
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Well, we were going to talk about masculine. How do you say the word?
Masculine. You don't even know how to say it. He's so manly. He doesn't even know how to say masculine.
I'm the least manly sitting here. Trust me.
Nah, I don't know about
You
that.
cut down 37 trees.
Yeah, I cut down 37
I was going to ask
trees
about
out there.
that.
Yeah, I'm making a cul-de-sac so that we can just turn around.
See,
That's a little easier.
Nice.
dude, I was going to hire someone to plant like 15 bushes on the side of my house.
Are you serious, dude? This is the post hole digger.
This is the irony of my man, are you a real man questions.
So what's funny is I wanted to do something for myself while I was doing that, and I cut down a tree the old way. And so one of the trees that I cut down was too big for me to reach around, which is not a very big tree because I'm not a very big guy, but it was
sapling.
Yeah, like a sapling. But it was I couldn't make my fingers touch around the trunk of the tree.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I cut it down with the axe.
Oh.
Yeah, it took a whole day.
That's
Took me
awesome,
a whole
though.
day to do it. But.
I think every guy should at least try that once.
It was I have chainsaws. I own really good chainsaws, and fuck cutting trees down with axes. That's antiquated for a reason.
But you've done it though, so now you can say it.
I have done it, and I'm an advocate for the Husqvarna 22-inch bar chainsaw.
Yes.
Like two nothing like a two-stroke, man. You can cut through a tree like nothing. It's like a hot knife through butter. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so we're gonna talk. You want to talk about Todd Kohlhepp for a minute?
Can we talk about him?
We'll talk about Todd Kohlhepp. Okay, so this would have been for me. I met Todd in 2015. Would have been 2015 because I got an Army in 2014. So in 2015, I met Todd through Tony. Actually, he's a mutual friend on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. We started off. Me and Todd used to bicker at each other back and forth in the comment sections of Tony's posts, and it made Tony furious. And he would, and what we and then me and Todd became friends. And what we would do is
That's a good thing.
We would collectively,
That's a good thing.
Together troll the other people on Tony's post, which drove Tony crazy. When me and Tony met, it must have been about 10 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we almost immediately started training together.
Yeah.
It was just we met at the gym, and I thought, hey, he's an older guy's a big guy, jack guy. Like, I want to look like that guy. I'm gonna hang out with him, and I'm gonna do what that guy does.
Hey,
right?
that's what I did. That's what I did when I first got in the gym.
Yeah. I mean,
I
that's
just want to look like him, so I'm gonna follow him.
Well, I had been working out for probably about 8 years already because I started boxing very young, like age 10. So I had been working out way too young to be lifting weights.
So you've been a man a long time.
Not really.
I mean, you were boxing at 10.
Boxing at 10, yeah.
I don't remember.
I killed my first Nazi at 11, skinned a bear at 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Normal childhood things.
Yeah,
Normal.
Yeah. So me and Tony go way back, and then through Facebook met Todd and went to his house. Well, not his house. He had like 100 acres of land that he didn't live on, and he had like just a little shack out there.
Were you in that apartment?
Oh, that little. It's like one of those little pole barns, like what I have. No, I never went inside.
Oh, okay.
No, I never went inside. But I went inside multiple connexes. He had.
It's a good thing he came out.
Yeah. It's a good thing that I came out because there were other folks who were not so lucky. Caleb Brown and me, I think, are the only two people that ever came out of one of those connexes.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, anyways, Todd and me became friends. We hunted coyotes on that land. He had like 100 acres fenced, wooded.
That's awesome.
We would hunt coyotes and deer, and it turned out that he killed a whole bunch of people.
Do you want to know the number that he told me?
He told you the number of people that he killed.
He did. So when he was off California Road, obviously my wife, who had worked for Todd for 5 years, she had some questions for Todd. And the first one on the list was, were we in any danger? Which, by the way, he said absolutely not. Actually, he told us that we were the closest thing to family that he had, and that he would never hurt any of us, and that if anyone... Let's put it this way. If he was out now and not caught,
sure,
the shit people say to me on Facebook, I don't know if it'd be good for some of those folks.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
Because he did tell me that there were, well, at least one guy that he used to go back and forth with on Facebook, and he...
Was it a black guy named Brian?
No.
No?
There's a white guy named Joe.
I know who you're talking about.
Joe, I won't say his last name.
I know Joe.
Yeah.
Joe worked at GNC.
Well, this is a different Joe.
Okay.
Apparently, he wanted to kill more than one Joe.
Okay. Never mind.
This Joe was a chiropractor, and
This Joe is the same name as me.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know. Joe lived behind you.
Yes.
Yes, I know Joe. Joe popped my back a couple times. He's a good guy.
Great guy,
Moved to like Virginia or something. Yeah.
He's in Hilton Head, but he was close to. But anyway, so when we went to see him, we asked him a bunch of questions, and
You guys went and visited him in prison.
we went to see him in California over here.
Okay.
Yeah, twice. But he did tell us, no, it's like, first of all, why would you lie? But then,
Again, he's a serial killer, so can you trust him?
right. So he told Jennifer and I 56 people.
Holy crap.
Ooh. So here's my theory on Kohlhepp. Okay,
Yeah.
he had more ammunition than a human being should have.
Absolutely.
He had. I mean, and
He had
I'm.
500,000 in ammo.
I mean, that's insane. Like I
Jeez.
don't have that much
Yeah.
ammo. I have so much ammo that when people see how much ammo I have, they're just like, "What the fuck's wrong?" They're like, "Why do you have all these bullets? Like, what are you planning for?"
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so he had way more than me, and he had a lot of weaponry that you have to have Class 3 licensing to buy. He had a lot of weaponry that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like he had a lot of like heavy grade stuff. And I just have a theory that Kohlhepp was a professional hitman. That's just the theory that I have, just from hanging out with the guy.
Okay. Did you see the look I gave you when you said that?
Yeah. So you have some kind of inside scoop about Kohlhepp being a professional hitman.
Absolutely.
Okay, outstanding.
Yeah.
I want to go down
Shit,
this
am I
road.
going to give this away for free on your podcast?
I don't know. You know what? Here's the thing.
We just got a call from Los Angeles from a company that wants to talk to us.
Oh, yeah?
My wife just called me literally earlier. I won't go into too much detail, but the question was, you had 500,000 in ammo. You had the land. He did well in real estate. That was obvious. But
He obtained a pilot's license somehow.
yeah, he had
Being a felon.
He was a pilot. Well, yeah, this was before he was grandfathered in, so he was a
wow.
realtor.
Right.
So that was all before. Now they check.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
they
they check now.
Now they're definitely checking. But he
So he could fly a plane to anywhere. He also had a lot of heavy equipment too that he owned,
Yeah,
like bulldozers and excavators and stuff.
he could fly to Mexico,
Yeah.
and let's just say hypothetically could shoot drug dealers
Sure.
for $30,000 a pop.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
So when the story, the line
I'm not
of,
saying that happened. I'm just saying
the line of complete bullshit what led me and Todd to becoming friends is that he found out what I did in the military,
Right.
and he told me that he was a private military contractor and that he had done private military contract work. And I was like, well, that's really cool because I've been interested in going into PMC work myself,
Right.
which I have done. But I was, that's what I do. And I was like, I'm interested in doing that. So I wanted to pick his brain on it. And he told me about several. There was one story. He always told me the same story, but it was always a different place and a different gun.
Right.
But he said that he left. There was a gun that he left on a hill in Mexico, and he said that to me all the time. And it was like $100,000 gun, $100,000 rifle.
Yeah.
Left it on a hill in Mexico, and that he got fired from the contracting company. And I'm like, you're a 1099 independent contractor at that point. You really can't be fired.
Right.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Because they can't stop me from going. You can't make me go to Mexico, right? Like,
Right. Yeah. The question my wife had was, how did you have all this money? Was it just from real estate? My wife was curious how he had all the money that he had.
Yes.
Was it just from real estate? And his answer was no.
Yeah, there's no way that it was. He would have to be like the most successful real estate. He would have to be selling houses. He's not selling houses in Spartanburg and Welford, right?
Right.
He's selling houses in like Malibu if he's making that kind of scratch. You know what I mean? Somewhere where the property value is insane.
But his answer was no, and he was hired to do things. For
Sure,
certain people.
I believe that wholeheartedly. That was the opinion that I had of him altogether, especially with him pleading guilty and knowing information on the Superbike murders.
Right.
And the wife they obtained a diaper, and the baby ended up not being the guy's, right? And so they did DNA samples and then found that the baby's DNA doesn't match the father that was murdered at the Superbike thing. And then the wife ended up going to, and I hope this isn't slander because I don't know anybody's name, and I'm not trying to be slanderous. I'm just making inferences here.
Yeah.
The wife ended up moving to the town Todd's from. In Tempe, Arizona. Yeah. Which is, Tempe's a big place.
Yeah.
And then people move to Tempe.
Yeah.
Not only and there's more than fugitives in Tempe, right?
Right.
But I'm just saying, I don't know. I just think that's a little crazy. The guy that whacks everybody your husband, supposed baby father, whatever. And they're both of his parents, right? Wasn't it both of the guy's parents that was working in a bike shop? This was back in like 03.
Yeah, I think it was his mom, the mom and the dad.
Yeah, the mom and the dad and the son, right? And then maybe set her up with a place in his hometown, far away, after she gave him an undisclosed amount of money. I don't know. I don't know if I can be sued for saying what I'm saying, so I'm not saying it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. But all I'm doing right now is I'm speculating. I'm just saying this is a possibility. It could have happened. I've never seen the Bourne movies. I mean, I'm just saying. Just watch a Matt Damon movie. This shit happens all the time.
It's funny because a lot of people, even the Discovery ID channel, there was a guy on there who actually didn't think he did that, the Superbike. That he thought he was just.
He just guessed and got lucky? With some information that only the shooter would have known?
Well, there were some discrepancies in that, but I will say this. I asked him to his face. Sure. Well, through the glass, through the monitor.
Right, yeah.
And he said, yeah.
So he told you he did it?
He told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was,
So whenever we talk about Todd, whenever anybody talks about Todd, I still say that Todd's my friend. I do. Because I still consider Todd a friend. Todd...
Right.
Had every opportunity in the whole world to just blow my brains against the wall.
Yeah.
And did not.
Yeah.
So Todd's my friend. I don't condone any of the shit that he did.
Of course not.
I think he's a terrible, terrible person.
Yes.
But he is my friend. And I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not. But I've caught a lot of flack for continuing to refer to Todd Kohlhepp as my friend.
Right.
From people that are, savvy to the story or whatever. He essentially kidnapped what he ended up going down for was what he would do is he would invite people to come out to his land and do work. He would get them off Craigslist. And a lot of times they were ex-convicts or like drug addicts or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he would just, lock the girl up. It would always be, it's always pairs, right?
He had a history with Kayla.
I know that he had a history with Kayla, right? Yeah, because I had heard him mention the name Kayla once before.
Yeah. I can tell you so my wife worked for him for 5 years, and first of all, I'm actually met Todd when he was working for Wycart Realty. I was marketing with the company I currently work at. I don't want to mention it.
Sure.
And he was. I will never forget this because he was the last guy in the room, and I had sold a bunch of memberships, and he was the last guy. Came walking up, sat down, and he said. It's like it was yesterday. He said, "Nobody can sell me anything. Sell me this." Like he was trying to test me.
Right.
Weird. Yeah. And I ended up, getting him a membership, getting him the American Express card, which is, like they call it a triple play. And that's how we became friends. He would actually use that card to come out and buy stuff, and he would always brag to me about how much money he made back in the year. So we became friends. I was trying to remember how we transitioned into friends, but I think it was just because he used to come out and shop, and then he'd go find me and we talk.
We'll bleep it.
Yeah.
I can bleep it in post.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
And he ended up recruiting my wife to come work for him.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jen sold houses for him.
She worked for him for 5 years. She used to go to his house. She used to go to his house all the time, drop off paperwork by herself. And I didn't have a problem with that. He was always respectful.
Yeah, same.
He's actually, it was weird because he used to tell me all the time, dude, I'm not scared of you. I'm scared of your wife.
That's so great.
He was like, dude, you're, but your wife's like a pit bull, and she don't take no shit.
The most surreal conversation that I ever had with Todd was, I do background checks on everybody that I'm friends with. I've done background checks on you. I've done background checks on you.
That's probably smart.
Yeah, I just do. Everybody
I do now.
Well, you should. Yeah, but I
wonder why.
He's eating dinner at my house and played poker at my house.
Right. Like I was doing this, before. Just and basically. So here's basically what happened. Here's how I got started doing background checks on people. So one of my favorite things to do when somebody is being a jerk to me on the internet is to send them their own address and just be like, I know where you live, bro. Stop it. That's like fun. This could get real.
Yeah.
If
right.
Depending on how you act, like just leave me alone. How about that? Because I really like to be left alone on the internet, right?
Right.
I like to say what I want to say, and I'm not interested in having a conversation. Like if I say something to Tony on one of his posts, it typically is like it's composed like a freaking turn paper. It's like introduction, body, conclusion, ending, and it's over.
And I just like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Because if you say, I mean, like, I'll have a conversation with somebody that I know, but I refuse to have conversations with strangers on Facebook because that's weird to me. To me, it's the same as us three having a conversation. Some dude we don't know walks up and is just like, well, actually. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like, we're not talking. Nobody's talking to you.
I like that.
Like, nobody is talking to
Basically,
you.
what Facebook is, though, isn't it?
Leave me alone because I will. You ever felt someone's windpipe just collapse in your ear? Like it's a feeling, and it's kind of addictive, you know. But you don't get to do it that often, you know. So one of the most
Try to do a background check on Dan.
You tried to do a background check on me. What did it say? Just a bunch of redacted stuff, just blacked out.
I got a knock on the door from the FBI.
Oh, that's funny.
I should leave him alone.
That's so funny. It's just a bunch of redacted stuff. It was just like born April Black. Like,
We don't even know Dan's real name.
yeah, nobody even really knows my real name. And on my Facebook, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no pictures of my face on Facebook. So there's only, and when I make like videos of me playing guitar or something, like I'm blurry.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, and when I do like, I did a post today about Gritty Soldier Fitness, a friend of mine's business.
Yeah.
And I have a skull for a face instead of a regular face. So I'm fine putting my face on YouTube because it's not a threat. You don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, is my name Dan? You really don't know.
Right.
Like, you guys are my friends. You don't even know my name.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah.
Maybe you do. One of the biggest things is super misinformation.
I'll find out.
Well, you know, the funny thing is that when we very first met, everybody called me Bo.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Everybody thought my name was Bo
I
Lynch
do
when we
remember
first
that.
met.
Really?
Yeah, Bo Lynch.
Oh.
Yeah. So, just counterintelligence is kind of my thing. But one of the weirdest conversations that I ever had with Todd was he actually hit me on Facebook and he said, "Why are you friends with every?" I'm gonna say exactly what he said. Why are you friends with every hot piece of pussy on Facebook? And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I can't find a girl with mutual friends with me that you're not friends with." And I'm just,
It says more about you than it does Todd.
yeah. And I don't know. I just thought that was a really weird conversation for like 2 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just like randomly hits me up.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're friends with all these hot pieces of pussy," and I was like, "You're creepy, dude. Like, you're being kind of a creep." But I still think that Todd's my friend. I still call him my friend. I refer to him as a friend. He didn't whack me. He could have.
Yeah.
And same with you. Like, he could probably have a lot of opportunities to offer you guys New Year's parties. He could have just with an AR or something.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because, you know, like I said, Jen had worked for him for a while. He was starting to get a little weird at closings. Like I read some things about him online, and Jen actually got an email from someone one day and said, "Do you know who you work for?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "No, do you know why he went to jail?" Now, he was up front. He told me why he went to jail. He went to prison. You know, he went to prison when he was 15.
When he was 15, yeah. But the story that I got, and I want to say it first because I want to see if we corroborate.
Yeah.
Right. So he told me, and
I want to look at
and it's super believable because any dude that's ever dated a girl has maybe gone through this. You get in an argument. She's like, "I'm leaving." You're like, "No, you're not." And then she calls the cops. I've not been in that situation where I was like, "No, you're not." And then she calls the cops, and then you get arrested for kidnapping. But I could 150% believe that. Okay, guy, girl, lover's quarrel, and then she's like, "I'm leaving," and he's like, "No, you're not." And then she calls the cops and like, "He won't let me leave." Then guy goes to jail for kidnapping. That probably happens way more often than women actually getting kidnapped.
Yes.
Especially by their significant other. I'll just put it that way. And I know in the news right now there's a story about a guy that kidnapped his girlfriend and like murdered her. Right. But so I'm not trying to be disrespectful to that, the victim there, but I'm just saying I feel like a lot of times kidnapping could possibly be that. But he also told me that he bleached a goldfish and they found that out, and then that's what.
I didn't know about the goldfish.
He had a pet goldfish and he poured bleach in the bowl and because he wanted a white goldfish.
He portrayed it to me a little different. He just basically said he was 16, she was 15. They had sex and come to find out. Well, he thought she was 16, turned out she was 15, and it was like a statutory rape type thing. But they were boyfriend girlfriend.
And see, that's also super believable.
But 15 years.
I know. But we came to find out what really happened was he went to her house and like tied her up and made her go to his house at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And then he like molested her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for her when she's still messed up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And she was just a kid. She was just a kid. You know. Yeah. That's terrible.
But you know what's funny is when he boy, now that you think back, you know, he told me the story and I said, you know and I was always. Here's something interesting that Todd told me. And I don't want anyone to take this wrong because I didn't know anything about anything. I just knew he was a little weird, but that's it. I never thought in a million years this guy was capable of killing anyone. But he wrote it in a letter. He said, if it wasn't for you, I would have killed more people.
Oof.
Because I was.
Wow.
Isn't that effed
now
up?
Now it's on you. Because now it's your burden to bear. It's you.
No, he told me this obviously after the fact.
Sure, but I'm saying now it's on you. You shoulder the responsibility of. I had to be Todd's friend.
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
If I didn't, this was literally people's lives.
Yeah. He told me if you weren't friends with Joe, I would have knocked on his front door and I would have shot him in front of his family. He told me that.
Oh wow.
And he told me that you were always encouraging, and I did. I was always like, dude, you need to find a girl, settle down, stop drinking nothing but coffee all day. He was always worried about his weight, so I was always very encouraging to him. Thank you, Jesus, because who knows what would have happened if I wasn't.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening was, you know, he started getting this weird reputation in real estate things, and then he came to where I worked one day.
Sure.
And we were talking.
And if you slip and say it, I'll just bleep it.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
no big deal.
So he, it's not a big deal. He used to come to go and visit me all the time, but
I'm still gonna bleep it.
Yeah, he came out and we were talking. And he's like, man, you gotta see my house cleaner. I was like, okay. I can't remember specifically, but it might have been Kayla.
I think it probably was Caleb, right?
Yeah, and he started showing me these pictures, and I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, they were
like
half naked.
Graphic, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't graphic, but, you know,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
so I was like, So after he left, I was like, I haven't seen that side of him yet. I know he talked about women.
Yeah.
He talked about him as, like, he was this stud.
Right. Yeah.
He was a ladies' man.
He talked that way about
yeah.
like that, but I'm like that to me you're not because like
right. I know you.
I'm laying pipe, bro. Like,
right.
I'm like you're not impressing me, dude.
I went home and I told my wife. I said, "You're not allowed to go to Todd's house anymore without me." And she was like, "Why?" I said, because I saw a side of him today that I'm not comfortable anymore with you being alone going to his house with him. And she was like, what happened? I told her, and she's like, okay, no problem. And she didn't.
Yeah.
I think she went like one time without me, but and he never thought anything of it.
Sure.
So suddenly I started going with her.
Right. You're just going to see Todd. In his mind, he's Tony's just coming to hang out with me.
Didn't think anything of it. But then he started doing the weird stuff with the real estate, and his reputation was really going downhill. So then I told her, I think you need to cut ties.
Maybe distance.
And she did, and he was not happy about it. And he would always
had she already distanced herself from Todd, TKE?
She worked for him when he was TKA.
TKA, that's what I mean. Yeah. Had she already broke away before he had got caught? With Kayla? Okay.
Oh, it was almost I think a year.
Okay.
It was a while.
You know.
But it's still, she came to the place I work at and was
like shaking. I guarantee it.
I had to leave work. I mean, it was terrible.
I dated a girl that became friends with Todd through me, and he had tried to hire her. This was after me and her broke up. He had tried to hire her and her new boyfriend to come do some work, and they ended up not going. And then the thing broke, and she reached out to me, and she was just like, "Do you think he was gonna kill me?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I think he was probably gonna kill you. Like,
well,
because I broke up with her because she was a drug addict, right?
Oh
you know? So I was like, I don't want to be around people that do heroin. And so and that was his MO was to shoot junkies and ex convicts. Because most people aren't gonna come looking for him.
Yes. Yeah. He thought he was doing the world a favor.
The Lord's work.
He
by
did
exterminating these bad people.
Ironically, he did say something like that one time. It's funny because I invited him to church one time, And now thinking back, I'm like, oh, now it all makes sense. But we used to invite him to church all the time. He said, listen, let me explain something to you. If I went to church with you guys, as soon as I walked in the building, it would burn down.
That's so funny. It's so fun. And did you see the post that he was making on Facebook from when he was in possession of Caleb Brown's phone? When the post that he was making from his Facebook while and he was talking about he said when everything comes to light, they're going to be talking about me for 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's an insane person. I mean, he's insane. There's
very,
something's wrong with him. He's
very
sick.
smart individual.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Super smart. And you know what's funny is when we were, I remember we were probably in that picture I showed you of us hanging out smoking cigars, and he's wearing his New Balance.
Oh yeah, he had the white New Balance.
He got white New Balance shoes.
Yeah, he had the dad shoes on.
He did. I'm like, I should have known then. I should have looked at those New Balance and picked up on it.
This is a man in his 40s wearing white New Balances. This can't be.
Yeah,
it can't be.
The dad bod and everything.
Oh,
and,
he was beyond the dad bod, bro. He was.
He was. I think he was prepping. I think he knew he was going down eventually. He wanted to be as big as possible. He did tell me from prison. I told you he's contacted me on Facebook a couple times that he misses his dogs, steak, and bourbon.
Yeah, that's pretty much his nightly routine too. Dog, steak, bourbon.
Yeah,
and then a post about a tractor.
Right. Yeah, but I.
You remember all the times that he got hurt working on the tractor, and he posted about it. You have to wonder if it was people struggling. Yeah. And he got injuries a bit, and he posted, fell off the tractor, flipped the tractor over today.
You know what's crazy?
Bruised my ankle.
He told Jennifer and I that he would have gotten away with it had he just killed Kayla.
Yeah, he should have. And I don't.
He
should have killed Kayla. Like he would have got away with it. Like if it was me, and I was a serial killer, and I was doing that shit, like I would. Right. But I would have had no choice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because he told us that he didn't want to, and he didn't. And he said, she never did anything wrong to me. They did have history.
Why did he kill Charlie though?
Because he stole from him.
Oh man,
he stole from him.
The guy was tapped in the head. He was very. People aren't your property.
Oh, they have text between him and Kayla where she said, "Charlie's, hurry up, Charlie's. He's not here. He's not home. Come over real quick." They did that on the Discovery ID channel. Yeah,
she tried to play it out like she didn't know him at all. Like she was random Craigslist.
When this first went down, and the one lady on Facebook is like, "Y'all better just." Y'all really don't know what's really going down, and she ended up being right because they had history. She was into a lot of freaky stuff. You know that two of her boyfriends since then have died?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was stabbed. I don't know. She stabbed him, but man.
The whole thing's pretty bonkers. There's so many layers to it. You know.
There are so many layers, man.
Like I said, I used to go out there and hang out with him, shoot guns, shoot coyotes, and he would always say stuff like, I would be like, I gotta go take a piss. And he'd be like, that's cool, just don't piss on that tree because that's where I bury the bodies. And then I'm just like, haha, because that's just dude banter. Right? Yeah. They're like, oh, careful, don't go right behind there. That's where I bury the bodies, blah, blah, blah.
You wasn't lying.
Yeah, he just wasn't lying about that. He was being honest with me. And it makes me kind of feel like maybe I'm in some sort of accessory. When the news came to talk to me after it broke, I told them to just leave me alone. Yeah. I just said, please just leave me alone. I didn't really know him like that. Like we were buddies. We hung out. We drank bourbon. We shot coyotes with rifles. Well, he had night vision scopes. That's why. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So this guy didn't have normal shit. He came
to my house one time. I don't know. My knowledge of guns is Call of Duty.
Sure.
Which, by the way, I used to play with him all the time, and he knew all the weapons. I was like, dude.
Me and you used to play Call of Duty together all the time.
Yeah. But he came to my house one time, and he popped his trunk on his X5 BMW, and I'm like, what the? Why?
He just had so much stuff.
Why do you have all these? He's like, I like guns, but I'm like.
Yeah, but this was beyond the point of a collector.
Is this legal? And he said, well, if they pull me over, it's probably not going to be a good day. But
this was past the point of what a collector would do. At this point, this is if it was somebody that was just collecting. At this point, I would call them a fanatic. At this point, like this is extreme.
Oh yeah.
Like collectors don't have.
And he had every bullet accounted for too.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I knew that. Like he had like an Excel spreadsheet and
every single piece of ammo.
Like it's the kind of shit that a hitman would do.
Yeah.
Like okay, so we've been on Todd for a while. Probably almost as long.
10 minutes. Yeah.
You said you got about 10 minutes?
Yeah. About 10 minutes.
Let's jump into something that Matt can talk about. Because I know we've got...
I'm just sitting here like, oh, yeah.
Me, it's just me. It's
Can
just
you
me.
top that, Matt?
Yeah.
Can you top that?
You got a
story?
story better than our
Yeah.
serial killer friend?
No.
Yeah, I don't usually meet
Don't
people.
feel bad about it. It's not.
I don't usually meet people that do.
Yeah. Not too many people can say that.
Yeah, I know. It's actually kind of a cool thing. It's like a point of pride for me to be like, I was friends with a serial killer, so maybe you should not fuck with
Listen,
me. I don't know.
listen. You know, when I went to see him, I showed him the photos. I have about 10 photos on my phone of him and my house and stuff. And he said, "You have more pictures on your phone than my family has." He hated his family, by the way.
Oh yeah, I knew all about
You know,
that.
we went to see him on a Friday, and I said, has your mom come to visit? And he said, "I don't want my mom to come visit."
It's crazy because that was one of
She
his.
died the next day.
No kidding.
She died the next day.
That was one of his like demands too, was that he be able to talk to his mother.
Yeah, but
You remember that when they first got
was
him?
using some of his money.
And one of the things was that like $250,000 or $500,000 we transferred to an account for a girl.
That was his. Yeah, that was. She's in the photo. It was for her daughter.
Yeah, for her daughter.
And I'll end the top thing with this, man. The last time I saw him physically, he was at my house, and he was with I forgot her name, his girlfriend's name at the time. She was a sweetheart too.
Missy?
No. But I seen her at Costco one time.
I remember
and I was like,
him.
I know you. And we started talking, and she told me the hell that she had went through. But I will never forget this, man. He was holding her daughter's hand.
Yeah.
And she was looking at him with such trust.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like she loved him. I know it sounds crazy, but she was like 8. And then you think about all this, and he told me, I don't hurt children. I won't kill children. I won't kill old people. And I won't kill cops. And you know, he told me that.
Interesting.
When they came to his house to arrest him, he told me this. When I went to go see him, he said, I could have killed every cop that was there. Remember the video? Did you see the video?
Oh yeah,
He
I saw it all.
He said, I could have killed all of them.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
But, because he had guns everywhere.
Oh yeah.
We used to go there, and he'd have them down on the table, and they were always within reach. And he said, but I could have taken them out. I could have hopped in my car, could have drove to the airport, I could have got on my plane, and I could have just flown away, and no one would have ever been able to find me. He goes, but I don't kill cops.
Wow.
That's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
So his own like self-moral high ground was his downfall. Like
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he would still be at large, I guess, is the way you would put that.
Right.
Or he could have killed Caleb.
Yeah, or he could have killed all of us.
I told you, I have a voicemail on my phone. I still have it to this day where it's October or something, and I remember going back and going, wait a minute. He's left me this voicemail to come out to his property to go shooting while she was there. Like, why would he do that?
He also contacted me to come out and hang out with him.
I told him. That's one thing I was like, you know, even
Was it an invite for a bonfire, right?
It was just an invite to go shooting, which I'm like, I'm not. I mean, I would have, but I just was busy. I just couldn't do it.
I didn't do it because I
wasn't a bonfire, but it was.
I don't go hang out with people.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that I do. Me and Matt have a mutual friend that I went to high school with. And Matt went to high school.
Oh, yeah.
And he's always like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have a party at my house this weekend." I'm like, "Awesome, dude." You should come. Like,
so I'm not. So don't invite you to the man cave.
I'm probably not gonna do that.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Well, I mean,
I got friends coming over tonight to the man cave.
I mean, that's fine. You're not making me jealous.
No, I'm saying you can come hang out if you want.
It's called peer pressure.
I know. He's just
Give in.
Yeah, no. He's
Listen,
just like, well, look. He's like, me and my friends, we're gonna watch a lot of TV shows and make a lot of noise. I'm just like, well, I mean,
I'm gonna light up another stogie. We're gonna drink some bourbon, and I'm gonna probably play golf on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, get the PGA. I told you over text while we were all quarantined that we weren't quarantined, but we just couldn't come in here.
Yeah.
And Matt was quarantined, but because Matt's the only one with a weak immune system.
That's right.
He's the only one that could get it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I didn't lick enough barbells at the gym.
You got that's exactly what it is, dude. Yeah.
I was trying to be clean.
You know that chalk? You know that chalk? Yeah, you got.
Oh, I eat that.
I eat that too. It tastes just like paste.
You would think. What's the stuff they smell?
He smells it.
Ammonia?
It's
I use
ammonia.
that shit all the time.
Dude, he'll snap those things and
I
pick
snap
up 1,000 pounds.
I'll snap 3 of them at a competition.
You're
the
insane.
medical ones. I'll snap 3 of them. I'll put one in my hand like this.
They're called smelling salts.
I'm
And,
surprised you got COVID.
they're ammonia. I'm surprised
listen.
you have sinuses.
My friend Jim swears that, I gave him COVID, so I disproved his theory of he drinks way too much bourbon to get COVID. It kills everything. I'm like,
I don't think it goes into your lungs unless you're drinking it wrong.
apparently
Wrong hole.
it didn't work. So he still got COVID, but yeah.
Wow.
And he got a weird rash on the left side of his body. It was wild.
Sounds like shingles.
No, it was it's
all
called
COVID.
COVID rash. Yeah.
COVID rash.
Yeah, they told me it's not. It's only on the left side. That's wild, man.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That made me like itch.
It was
like
nasty.
all over my body just now. I just felt like it made me really itchy. I'm weird about stuff with my skin, and like my only thing that I'm insecure about. I'm not insecure about my height.
I was gonna say that.
No, not at all.
But I figured you weren't.
Not at all. The only thing that I'm insecure about as a human being is being the person in the room that smells bad.
Oh.
Like I always smell really good, and I can't, or I have no smell. So like right now I don't have any cologne on, but like I always smell good, and I just can't. We've been around the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, even in the gym, I'm full deodorant cologne, like. And
you probably shouldn't go to the gym with me. I don't give a shit what I look like or smell.
It doesn't really. It's not so much that it bothers me when other people smell, as much as it's just like I am judging you so hard, like so harshly. I'm like, does this motherfucker not have soap at his house?
Do you remember Greg that I used to train with?
Yes. God Almighty.
I said, dude, listen, man. You literally are making my eyes water. Dude, you have to. So he started carrying deodorant in his bag because if he showed up and if he stunk, I'm like, I'm not training with you until you put some damn deodorant on. So he'd walk over and he'd put some deodorant on. I'm like, dude, you are nasty. You had a guy at work, man, that no one would say anything to.
Yeah, I'm always the
like,
guy.
dude, you stink.
I'll do that if I'm going on like a heavy day and somebody's got to like back spot me with a squat. I'll do a favor, like I'll make sure I got deodorant on and stuff like
Sure.
that. But if I'm just by myself,
That's how
you
how
guys,
courteous.
I don't give a shit.
That's such a courtesy. Matt, you should change your Instagram handle to Courteous Matt.
I'd rather
instead
not.
of Mad Matt. You don't seem very mad at all.
Smelly Matt.
You seem a lot smelly, Matt.
Smelly Matt.
Maybe smelly underscore courteous underscore Matt. Because
Instead of smelly cat,
smelly Matt. Yeah, you seem more courteous.
Song about you.
You seem way more courteous than you do mad. No.
Who's gonna say something to him about him the way he's
I
knowing?
know. Who would say anything to him?
I wouldn't.
I just,
I would just deal with the funk and get away from it.
We had a conversation about that on a different podcast where I was just like, yeah, I'm like, boxing for 10 years, brown belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like I've been fighting, like and the training that I have from the military, and I wouldn't fight Matt. Like I would shoot you. Like I would
just run.
I would 100%. He might catch you. You never know when big guys can run.
I can run fast for short periods of time. Like if you can get about 100 yards out, I'm done. You're out.
Well, see, that's another.
He's like an alligator.
Powerlifter. Yeah. He's got a death roll. Like,
and if he catches you, he does a death roll. And you're done. He rips your arm off.
He's like a bear, in that if he gets a hold of you, he's gonna shake you really hard.
It's the if.
He has a really unique fighting style, in that he gets his hands on you and just shakes you until you die.
Yeah.
I once seen Matt Bates punch an adult male horse to the ground.
Oh, wow. Like in the Blazing Saddles when Mungo.
Oh yeah, exactly like
hits
that.
a horse.
Oh wait, this isn't the first time that I've compared your life to that of Blazing Saddles. So
Such a great movie.
yeah, I always refer to myself as John J. Rambo and him as Mungo from Blazing Saddles.
Candygram for Mungo.
Okay.
Mungo, is it Mungo?
I think it was Mungo. Yeah. And you can't say that anymore. I actually got 30 days Facebook ban for saying Mungo.
Really?
Because it's a shortened form of Mongoloid, and no, I'll just say that.
I never get put into Facebook.
I know, because all the controversial shit is said in the comments of your posts.
Yeah, I did get warned because I posted I shared a video. It was about vaccines, but it was up there for like a week. And then when they warned me, I'm like, okay, I'll take it down. Big deal. It's been up. 12 people shared it. I don't care now.
It's already out there.
So we've got like 5 minutes left with Tony. Is there any topic that we want to touch on or was this just more just like buddies hanging out again for the first time after not seeing each other for a long time?
Post COVID.
Yeah, because I feel like this podcast doesn't really have any message for young men other than just you never know who's a serial killer.
You never. So if you're gonna learn anything from this podcast, it's number one, do a background check.
Background check. Be nice to the quiet kid.
Yep. And
Give him Snickers.
you never know who you're hanging out with.
Who is that? Is that Mike Birbiglia or is that who is that?
Give us Snickers?
Yeah. It's somebody's bit. Because he's
the Dane Cook?
It might be Dane. He's shooting up the workplace.
Yeah.
And then he comes to Dane and he's like, "Thanks for the candy," and he just doesn't shoot him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You always give him the Butterfinger. You gotta give him.
He always gives him a Butterfinger so they won't kill him because he's scared he's gonna shoot the workplace up.
Yeah. So let's give the quiet kid a Butterfinger. It'd be nice.
Always be.
Well, listen. I was nice to the quiet kid in the gym. When I saw him, he was nice and quiet and a little guy, and I said, "You know what? Take him under my wing."
Yeah.
And just pick him up like a baby.
Almost. That's almost what happened. Here's a really funny thing.
Take him for a dumbbell.
I remember the first conversation I ever had with Tony. I don't know. You might remember. You might not. My dad was actually at the gym. Okay. Me and my dad were working out together, and I just saw you. I just came up to you and started talking to you about like what you're doing right there. What does it work? And I think it was some pinky out shoulder thing.
Okay.
And I'm just like, why are you doing it like that? And explain. Fucking explain yourself. And he's
you look weird.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, you're doing it like in a way that I've never seen anybody do it, and I don't know if you're retarded or smarter than me, but you're way bigger than me, so you're probably smarter than me. So like, explain yourself, sir. And then he's like, is this your dad? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, you got good genes. And I was like, yeah, I shop at Hollister. And
makes sense.
Yeah, it's like Hollister jeans.
Yeah.
But that joke didn't age well because I've moved on. I don't wear Hollister jeans anymore. Right? Yeah. Well, no, I can still wear them.
Jesus, you're like a child, dude.
It's like a 30-inch waist.
Jesus, I've been a 30-inch waist since I was like in middle school.
I'm 32.
32?
32.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
30-inch waist. A 30-30. What's your length? 34?
32.
32.
Yeah, I got short little.
Yeah, I got little stumpy legs.
I got little frog legs.
It sucks on ruck marches, dude, because like you got all that weight on your back. A tall guy
for squatting.
A tall guy can just squat a ton of weight, but a tall dude with all that weight on his back can just step it out and just leave you. And I'm just running the whole time.
Every 6 steps you take, he takes 2.
He's just like stepping it out.
Like, get out of my way.
Ruck marches are terrible, dude.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that conversation?
But I don't have a great memory.
But the other thing is that it wasn't a.
Was I nice?
No, you're a douchebag.
No, was I? Was I?
No, not at all. You've always been really nice to me. We skipped a big phase of friendship. Me and Matt did the same thing where we met each other, and immediately just went to just roasting the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
We skipped the part of our friendship where we had to talk we had to become to that level where we could talk shit about each other. Me and you just immediately were just like, okay, yeah, this guy's not sensitive.
No foundation was built.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in saying I literally cannot be offended.
Yeah, I can't either. You can't hurt my feelings.
You cannot.
If you tell me I smell bad, I'm just gonna go put deodorant on. Like, that's the
did you see my post last night about how is it possible that how have you grown as a human being if you're still eating at McDonald's? And literally, people got butt hurt.
Did you see my comment on it?
But it was perfect.
That was funny.
I was like, dude, I eat McDonald's.
It was great, but I'm just like,
I tried. I was gonna send you a picture today because I was in line at McDonald's I was in line at McDonald's to get some chicken nuggets, and it was the line was too slow, and I left and went to Wendy's.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I respect that. I respect Wendy's.
I left. I went and got chicken nuggets from Wendy's. Yeah. I had a stomach ache, and every time I have a stomach ache, I'm a toddler. I told you that in the comment. Like when my tum hurts, I need chicken nuggies. Right? That's what I do. I'm a man, damn it. All right.
I don't think that would help my stomach.
You ever have chicken nuggets and chocolate milk?
I'm trying to think of my next real mad question right now.
It will literally.
If your tummy hurts, if you call your stomach your tummy,
tum, are
you a real man?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the next question.
Yeah.
But people were like, this one. He's a power lifter, actually. This guy. I love McDonald's. I'm like. Oh,
I don't care.
Okay, dude, that doesn't mean you've grown.
My brother was a firefighter on 9/11.
Oh yeah.
This doesn't have anything to do with it. Well, he was at McDonald's when the towers went down.
When I saw that post, I knew immediately, like, a handful of powerlifters that are gonna be like get offended because like that's what they eat. They're like they go like have a heavy set. They go to eat like 5 Big Macs.
CT Fletcher, man.
I was just about to say CT Fletcher did the same thing. It blew his freaking heart up doing that.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Yeah, but I just because we're driving down Highway 9, and I'm just like, it's like 9:00 at night. Why is there
There's a wrapped around McDonald's.
What are you guys doing? Listen, I got into so much trouble one time because when the new Bojangles opened, I could have left out the last part, but I didn't. I left it in there, and they literally had the cops out there directing traffic. It was the new, I think the Bojangles up on
the one by Aldi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it opened, people lost their minds.
Yeah.
I was like,
but it was already there. It was just beside Wendy's. They just moved across the street.
Well, whatever they did, I yelled out.
Did you know that Bojangles was there where Arby's?
Well, maybe it wasn't. I don't know if it was the Bojangles, but anyway, it was.
People are dumb anyway.
That's the one beside Aldi, though.
I yelled out the window. Y'all need to learn how to meal prep, and you wonder why you're fat.
Brilliant.
And I got in so much trouble. I didn't get in trouble because I don't really care, but I was like, Jen's like, you should have left out the part where you said that's why you're fat. I'm telling you, you should have left that part out because that's all they're gonna hear. No, and people came after me hard on that one, and I'm like, you know what, man, suck it up.
Tony is a really strange entity with the way that he carries himself online, because the way that it's almost, I don't mean this in any insulting way at all. It's almost fake in the sense that Tony is the type of person that wants to tell you to go fuck yourself, but it won't because he really doesn't want to be mean.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, all of his opinions are almost unpopular, but he won't, it's the same as me. Like I have super unpopular opinions too, and so do you.
Yeah.
But it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say here.
Well, when he responds to somebody, like if he asks a question, it's not like, that's not what I asked you, idiot. He's like, are you making a statement or did you not answer the question?
Right. He's just being condescending to everybody. That's all. Because what I'm saying is that I think that like I'm the personification of the actual thoughts that Tony has in his head, and he just he won't. So like I will say them.
Yeah.
And I don't care about having friends or followers, right?
Clearly.
Right. But Tony is, building a brand for Old Man Muscle,
Sure,
so,
yeah.
And so he a lot of times can't say controversial things.
That's right, yeah.
Well,
and that's why you need to be friends with our mutual friend Samuel Culper, because that guy.
He don't give a shit.
That guy does not care.
Yeah, I know.
That guy does not care about anything.
That
guy will get on people's grill.
But I've learned to ask certain questions to get my point across without being mean, I guess.
Your entire tenure on Facebook has been a social experiment.
Absolutely.
In that you have
I'm starting a podcast.
You have
a ton of content.
You have routinely just pitted your friend base against one another, like for your own entertainment. And I'm a troll. I'm an internet troll.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I've strived to do. But he manages to do it in a super respectful way that without the way that I used to.
I could have left out. That's why you're fat. I left that in there.
But Matt remembers when I was on Facebook, like with my big following on Facebook, and the way that I would start a riot on Facebook was just be like, "You guys are all retarded," and then or I'd be like, "I hope you all die." How about that? And just the most edgy, on the edge stuff I could think of. And then I'd follow it up with something like, my most unpopular opinion is that nobody shot JFK. His head just did that for some reason. So it's just like, do you take this guy seriously or not? But the way that Tony starts riots is he's just like, are you a real man if you wear high socks with sandals?
Yeah.
And then people are like,
those are strictly entertainment.
Yeah. But there's people in the comments like literally like tearing each other to shreds.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I learned a very valuable lesson. Don't talk about overalls in Spartanburg because you're talking about someone's grandfather.
Oh right, I saw that.
I did that. Yeah,
my grandpa wears overalls. And he works on a farm and he's been working his whole life. Of course, he's a real man.
And then I'm like, but then that doesn't apply to you. So your grandfather absolutely has a legitimate reason to wear overalls. Guy shopping at Costco in his 30s that works in corporate America.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me. I don't care if he does it. It's cool. Wear what you want. I wear what I want. But it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. But in my heart of hearts, I am trying to get people to think
Yeah, but
I don't think anyone thinks anymore.
But that's not what it's doing. But I know that's like it's called death of an artist when Billy Joe put out a record and was like, this is punk rock, and everybody was like, that's pop punk, and he's like, what is that? And it was like, yeah, pop punk. He's like, I hate that. No, it's pop punk. Yeah. It's just punk. No, it's pop punk.
Right.
What you want it to be is not what it is now. So that's what death of an artist means, and that's what's happened. That's what happens. That's what happens to Tony on a daily basis. He's posting provocative stuff. Yeah. And the majority of the people on his friends list. Okay, so it's a fun pie chart. There's the people like Vreeland and me and Balmer. Yeah. And a couple of others that'll all just agree. We're just like, you know what, kind of agree. Sometimes we'll disagree with you to a point. Yeah. But most of the time we're just like, you know what, I'm down for that cause. Yeah. And then there's the group of people that go batshit insane over it, right? Yeah. And then there's the very small sliver of people that say something that's completely unrelated. Yeah. Like, and what's crazy is so many of the people that I went to high school with are friends with you. Oh. A lot. Wow. A lot of them. You know Tyler Moore. Yeah. Tyler Moore. Me and him went to school together. Yeah, he got held back a grade. Yeah. So he ended up not being with me, and I didn't see him anymore. Yeah. But he got jacked. He's a big bodybuilder guy. He used to be a little scrawny guy. Yeah. But so that's just one. This is one example. There's a couple of other friends of mine from high school that are friends with you. And I've just been like, wow, man, you are still a little bitch. Like, after all this time. You have not grown. After all this time where you're just like, yeah, can you be a real man if you don't squat? And then people are like, my dad has been in the military and he's never lifted weights a day in his life and he's amazing. And I'm just like, dude, you're still a pussy. Yeah. Like, you are still a pussy. And like, your dad's had like 4 heart attacks. I know, because every time I talk to you, you're like, my dad had a heart attack again. Damn. But in my head, that's the way my friends sound. They're just like, no puedo, I love you, baby.
I got unfriended. I got unfriended. I got unfriended by a lady one time because I said something about guys that wear sunglasses indoors.
Ooh, guilty.
I'm like,
douchebag stuff?
I don't know.
Don't you wear sunglasses indoors? You don't ever do that?
I don't wear sunglasses.
Well, you wear real glasses. Yeah, dudes look really weird with 2 pair of glasses.
I think it'll look awesome. I want to end with this.
Because we got to jump off.
Just like I got into it with a lady that I work with who works in the optical department, and she told me the importance of wearing sunglasses and yada yada yada. Yeah. Okay, so you want to protect your eyes. What about the rest of your body? Like, people get out of their cars, they put on their sunglasses, they walk 20 feet. Yep. And they take their sunglasses off. Sure. And I'm like, oh, so you want to protect your eyes, yourself, sure. You want to make sure your eyes last.
Sure.
Your shopping cart is full of garbage.
Sure. Yeah.
So what is it? Is it you just want to wear them because they're cool, or are you really wearing them because you think they're going to protect your eyes? But if that's the case, and you're concerned about your health of your eyes, what about from your eyes down?
I will tell you the whole thing about for me, the reason that I wear sunglasses.
You don't want people see where you're looking.
That's a great option.
It is. I remember when I used to wear sunglasses. I didn't get as much trouble.
I found at there's that. I wear dark mirrored Wayfarers. I have a pair. If you ever see me wearing the all black sunglasses, right? Just know that I'm feeling sketchy that day.
Okay.
Because I found these all black Wayfarers at a thrift shop.
Nice.
And they were something that somebody sent off for out of a comic book back in the 70s or 80s. Wow. And in the corners of them are mirrors. Oh, nice. And I can see behind me.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're really cool.
Dude, and see, that's legit.
And they're really cool. And I can see behind me.
I can live with that.
And it's really cool. And it's kind of disorienting to walk in them because, like, you can see what's behind you and it's moving toward you while you're moving away from it because the way that mirrors work, So, but yeah, so those are kind of cool. I don't know. That's why I wear sunglasses. I try to hide my eyes.
And really, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm just having some fun.
And I feel like that's what we're all doing on social media. This is all entertainment, and anybody that takes stuff like shit on this seriously is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like you need to get a life.
Everybody, calm down.
Yeah. You just get a life.
See,
right?
because I go out into the world and I just imagine people think the way I think, and you literally cannot offend me. So when I speak,
Yeah, it's just the same
I think you're the same way, but most people aren't.
I think that's the story of everybody at the table's life. I mean, we just assume that everybody else is, and I've made that mistake as well, where I have assumed that other people were as athletic or as tough, I guess, as me, like mentally, where doing some work or something, and like this person can't do this the same, like hold this for the same amount of time as me, or can't run post hold dig like some person off me. And I'm just like,
it's not true.
Well, why can't you? Because I can. Like, you know what I mean? So in my head, I feel the same way about guitar. That's why I've never been able to teach anybody how to play. Because they're just like, how do you do this? And I'm just like, you just do.
Yeah, and I hate people like you.
I can't.
I hate people that pick up a guitar and make it look so easy, because I really just want to punch them.
You ever seen Good Will Hunting? That's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It
makes it even worse.
It's like, when it comes,
I have a guy at work that's self-taught.
When it comes to math, I just always could play. You know. That's my Matt Damon.
Suck at math too.
That's my Matt Damon. I just could always play. You know. It's like piano. You play piano, right?
Yeah.
In Southie, respect is more important than a gun. You know.
All right, I got my boys waiting for me.
All right, cool. So let's wrap this up. Tony, thanks for coming on with us. We had a fun time talking about Todd, or at least I did. I feel
it's always an interesting conversation.
It is, and we're not revealing a lot because Tony, and I'm sure I'll get one too, because it seems like he gets them and then I get them. Being contacted by news outlets that are wanting a story on people that knew him and spent time with him. Yeah. Tony had the smart idea to ask him for money. So I'm going to be doing that too.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be doing that too. But that's it. So we're back to regular schedule. Yeah. Tony, do you have a name for your podcast? It's going to be called Old Man Muscle?
I haven't decided yet. And I don't want to say it because I don't want anyone to steal it. But no,
really enough. You're going to get that LLC.
I don't think it's going to be Old Man Muscle. I think it's going to be something about having conversations. Uncomfortable. Because I love uncomfortable conversations. And
Blonde Ambition Tour. That's what you should call it.
Listen, I can tell you, I'll leave with this. There's the only reason why my wife and I just celebrated 21 years of marriage is because we have nothing but uncomfortable conversations.
That's what's saying.
You gotta have those, and I think
it's important.
And a lot of people don't do that.
I agree with that. There's a ton of people that I know that just don't talk to their spouse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, how are you?
It doesn't work.
How are you managing to do that?
I can't. Just can't. It's not in me.
Yeah. The only way, you gotta be hitting something on the side.
Yeah.
Or else that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way you could go that long without.
What ends up happening?
Yeah. So we're back to regular. Next week we will be back to me and Matt, and we'll be talking to you kids about something.
It'll be something
controversial probably, and then whenever Tony gets his podcast up and running, we'll shout him out here and get our 92 followers, however how many we have.
It's 93. I followed you recently.
Yeah. So we'll make that happen, and then I'd love to come on your podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'll post this one on my Facebook.
Sweet. Yeah, don't tag me in it because I don't want anybody to see my face.
Tag him in it.
Definitely tag.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.